Hello everyone, welcome back to CCSP Certified channel. We are starting the last topic, which is miscellaneous today. We have already covered over 80% syllabus. Today we are starting DNS and DNSSEC. Very important topic for exam perspective. You can expect at least one question or two question in the exam, both CCSP and CISSP. So if you are new to my channel, I would like to inform that I have already covered 5 topics, and in this topics I have covered 70 or 80% syllabus of the CCSP exam. So these are the encryption, IAM, cloud characteristics, risk in the cloud, and international laws and standards. So the last topic I will cover remaining subjects. So by end of this topic, see, whole 100% syllabus of CCSP would be covered. My focus in video series quickly I cover before I jump to the topic. I focus on high probability exam topics in this video series and the difficult exam concept, because soundness of concept is very important to clear any of the ICS exam. Also, my source of teaching is various questions from my candidate feedback based or CCSP question banks. Yes, I do conduct classroom teaching also. I collect their feedbacks, update my content, and add these questions in the video series or my course content, and definitely to the point discussion. Yes, time is limited. I will try to use my 15 years of IT experience, CCSP, CISSP, and other cloud certification learnings to make things simple and easy for you. My goal is to help you get further and faster in your CCSP exam certification. Many of candidates ask me whether YouTube study that I'm running is free and sufficient. Yes, it is. But in case you want comprehensive and effective approaches that has worked for me and my candidate, either you may join any of the regular batch I'm conducting or purchase self-paced recording program with nominal rate. You write me at the ccsp-certified at the gmail.com or WhatsApp me on +91 837 0081064 for more detail of the self-paced training program or new batches. The one batch I'm planning to start from 1st of the February, that will be a weekend batch and may go till 25th of March. So it will be from 2 p.m. IST to 5 p.m. IST. 5 p.m. IST, apologies, it is 5 p.m. IST. And in case you are interested, you can write me at the same email address or WhatsApp me. So quickly I cover the DNS, very important topic for exam perspectives. At least one question you will see in the exam. So DNS, a very old concept, might be you are aware, but I will do a quick recap before I go to the advanced concept that is important for exam. So DNS itself is not important, but it is important to understand this to understand the other concepts. So DNS just translate the human readable domain name to a machine readable IP address. So let's say I type amazon.com. So there is an IP address of amazon.com which I don't need to remember, but client to server interaction happen with the IP address base. So there is a server, that is a DNS server work behind and translate that that human readable name to the IP address. How it works? So there are three components work behind. One is a recursive DNS server or local DNS server. Second is a TLD server, and third is authoritative DNS server. So we'll cover these three from this slide. So first is recursive DNS server, which is the first server client interacts. So in their browser, you mention the in if you have configured your IP4 settings or IP6 settings, you provide some DNS IP address there. Normally it is a ISP detail or ISP provided server. Let's say Airtel, Amazon, or the Reliance, any ISP. If they are providing the internet services, they provide a DNS service to you also, and you use that as a recursive DNS server. So let's say when you type, I want to know what is a domain.net or amazon.com IP address, you reach to your recursive DNS server. If recursive DNS servers hold the information, it redirects back the IP address directly. There is no need to reach any other place. In case the address is not known to the recursive DNS server, let's say a new name like domain.net, which is not known to the recursive DNS server, it first reaches to the root server. Root server is the server which is configured with the DNS server, and They ask with the root server whether you know about the domain.net. Then if root servers know the information, it send back the IP address. If not, they reply back, no, I don't know the domain.net, though I know what is the .net TLD server detail to you. So they set the .NET TLD server detail to the recursive DNS server. Then recursive DNS server is to the TLD server, which is holding the .com, .NET, like this common domain extension detail. So recursive DNS server asks, do you know about the domain.net? If they know, they reply back with the detail. Otherwise, they say that no, I don't know this. You please get the detail for me is the domain.net. You reach them directly and ask for the IP address. Then this DNS server, recursive DNS server is directly to domain.net, the detail provided by the TLD server, which is authoritative DNS server, which hold actual IP address that we are looking for. It convert the IP address and send back to the DNS server, which being sent back to the client, and the interaction happens. So this is how this whole recursive DNS server mechanism works. Good to know. Not for exam perspective. What is important for exam perspective, we'll see in the next slide. So exam perspective, one important point is threats to DNS infrastructure. One question you can expect from this topic. We will discuss about the 5 threats to the infrastructure of the DNS, and we'll see the solution of this one. So one question from the threats, one from the solution you can expect in the exam. So what is first one is a footprinting. Footprinting is to obtain the DNS data like the domain name, computer name, IP address, and other sensitive data. It is a read associated with the text. There is no change in the data. We only reading the data, storing the data, which is known as footprinting. Very important. They give a scenario and they ask whether it is a footprinting or other type of attacks. You have to select one of them. If it is only a read attack has happened on the data, it is a footprinting attack. Next is DOS attacks, denial of service attack, which is a attack where we ensure that the DNS is not reachable for replying any queries. So we flooded the DNS by more requests from the forge servers, forge that recursive servers, and DNS become non-responsive. This way the page will not able to render. So even though the google.com server is up and running, if I make the DNS entry of authoritative DNS server entry unavailable, that server will not able to access from the internet. So this is a DOS, same like DDoS attack or DOS attack we have seen previously. So footprinting and DOS attack, they are the two attack so far we have discussed. Next one is a data modification, very important for exam perspective. They give a scenario, most probably it is a data modification use case only. So when attacker do the spoofing of a valid IP address in the IP packet the attacker has created, this gives this packet to the appearance of coming from a valid IP address in the network. With the valid IP address, the attacker can gain access to the network and destroy data or conduct the other attacks. So here is one type of spoofing attack where the valid IP address is being removed with the new IP address, updated with the new IP address in the packets, and then attackers gain the access of the network and destroy other data. So data modification. Just remember a few things. We'll discuss again in brief. And the redirection happens, this is a data modification we have seen. Redirection, where the redirection happens to the wrong DNS, and that happens because the when attacker can redirect queries to DNS names to a server that are under the control of the attackers. So when I'm able to send the query to TLD server and I attack the TLD server, then I can respond back as IP address as I want. So this way I can control. So here I'm not doing any modification. I'm controlling the DNS. I'm attacking the DNS. So DNS itself is in hijacked. So it will reply what I will say. In the data modification, I have modified the data. Here I have controlled the data, control the server. The last one is spoofing, similar type to data modification, where the incorrect information, when the DNS accepts the incorrect information from the host, that has no authority giving that information. So sometime local DNS file can be updated by running a script or by manually going to the server and updating the data on the client machine. So this is a cache or client machine specific attack where wrong information is updated in the DNS file or the cache of the server or the client. So here there is no direct modification happen on the DNS server end, not their tables. The DNS attacks also not happen. Only the forged data enforced in the cache of the server. So when the request comes, if it has a value in the cache, it simply return from the cache rather than going to the other servers for collecting the data. So this is the spoofing attack. So when they give a scenario, you will able to easily identify by the by having this keyword. If it is a read associated attack, only read has happened on the data, it is footprinting. If server is not reachable, it is DDoS attack. If there is a modification happen, it is a data modification. In case only there is no modification happens, only the hijacking of the happens of the DNS server, it is a redirection. In spoofing, when there is a cache poisoning happen, is spoofing. So this is one scenario where the modification or redirection can happen when a client requests for a real website to DNS server. If there is a modification happen and injection happen to the DNS entries, it can send the data to the fake website. Or even case even there is no injection happen, if that is DNS server is being controlled, rather than sending the data to the real website, it can send to the fake websites. In both the scenario, either DNS being controlled or DNS data is being updated, and this attack happens. And how to overcome from this? Then the solution is a DNSSEC that we'll discuss now in detail. But before this, quickly I discuss about the basic concept of cryptography, because it's very important to revise this again. Though I have covered this in the domain 1 in detail, you do uh, um, check those videos again in case you want in more in detail, but I will at least cover what is required in this topic. So there is a three concept that we have explained previously also. Cryptography has only three concepts. One is confidentiality, second is integrity, and third is non-repetition. We have seen that confidentialities are lead protections for the secrets. Secrets not to be shown or told to unauthorized person, and encryption helping in this. All the encryption algorithms ensuring that confidentiality is maintained, read protection maintained. Integrity, which is just for the write protection, and hashing algorithm is being used for integrity. That is not important for this topic, so we'll park for this. Non-repetition is source authentication. Source cannot deny that I have done that action, I have initiated that email, I have sent this message. Source authenticity happens with the non-repetition, and digital signature helping this. Digital signature is similar to the signature we do on our checkbooks. So confidentiality and a non-repetition, there's a slight uh, minor difference, and that's very important to understand for this exam, this concept perspectives. So let's say Bob want to send a message to Alice, and that is encryption that we are discussing here first. If they want to say Bob want to send message to Alice, Bob and Alice both are using public key encryption mechanisms, so both has their public key and private key pair, but there is no role of Bob's public key or private key when the encryption happens. Encryption always happen with the receiver's public key, or so sender use receiver public key to encrypt the message, and receiver use own private key to decrypt the message. So there is no role of the sender keys in case of encryptions. Sender keys are only used in case of digital signature. So how this happens? So when Alice want to send a signed message to Bob, Alice has a public key and private key. Alice use own private key to sign this message, which is being verified by Bob. So you will might be thinking how this public key can verify. So this is mathematically linked keys, and this the that digital signature program, once it encrypt the message with the private key, it can verify with the public key. So this is very important for this lecture, that encryption need receiver public key, digital signature needs sender's private key. And here we will use digital signature in the DNS SSEC. So we'll discuss now the DNS SSEC in detail. So as we have seen, DNSSEC is a security added to the DNS. So it adds security to the DNS protocol by enabling the DNS response to be validated. So if the DNS is responding back, if it is under attack, or if the data is modified, there is a way it can be verified, because in both the situations the signature will not be matching, and that a client or the recursive that root server or the TLD can verify it is coming from the correct DNS or not. So what DNSSEC validate? It validates the response to DNS queries before returning them to the client device. So when a client requests I need example.com IP address which resolved to the ISP or the local DNS server, that send this to the root server, and root servers when response back that I don't know about this example.com, but I know that that server.net which is .net IP address to you. Along with this I will share the public key of the .net server. So when the .NET servers will respond back to you, you verify the signature by this digital signature algorithms. So when this ISP reach to the .NET server and ask that do you know about the example.net, the .NET server will respond that I don't know about the example.net IP address, but I know what is the IP address of example.net host which is hosting this application. Along with this, I will send it a signed response and the key of the example.net. So when there will be signed response will reach to ISP DNS server. The public key received from the root server can be used to decrypt it and verify the signature. Yes, it is verified from the .NET verified .NET server. Then the next key it received from the this .NET server will be used to verify the response from authoritative servers, and the finally it has a right IP address which given back to client, and client can again it is signed response from the ISP, and client hold the public key of the ISP which can be used to again verify the signature and use it. So with DNSSC the DNS protocol is much less susceptible to certain type of attacks that we have seen, like data modification or that redirections or spoofing. So this type of attacks can be reduced with the help of DNSSEC. Very very important for an exam perspective. At least one question from this slide will come. 100% I have seen in every exam that is being given by me and my candidate. Even not only CCSP or CISSP also. So understand this concept, very very important. There is a use of digital signature. I quickly do a small recap here. Digital signature use own private key to sign this response, and that key and public key which is available or shared by other root server is being our DNS server is being used to verify this data, and once data is verified it is being forwarded back to the client. Now we'll see what type of questions can be asked from this topic. We'll cover 5 important topics. So first one, Rohan is concerned about the security of his organization's domain name record and would like to adopt a technology that ensure that their authenticity by adding digital signature. Which technology should be used? So this is very straightforward. Sometime such easy question can become. It is simple DNSSEC, which is use digital signature and in the DNS infrastructure. The next one, which of the following statement accurately describe the purpose of DNSSEC in a cloud environment? So what is the purpose of the DNSSEC? So we'll see one by one. Do it enhance the speed? No, we have seen there is nothing related to the speed. It is for the security we have used it. It encrypt. So we have seen the difference between encryption and the digital signature. It do not encrypt. There is no encryption happens on the traffic data or any detail. It is just the signature happens in this DNSSEC step. Reduce the latency. Nothing related to latency. Even it can increase the latency because there is additional steps we are doing. It provides the security. Yeah, it is for the security we are using it, and to secure the communication we are using DNSSEC. Next one, domain name system security extension, which is DNSSEC, provide all of the following except. So in exam, if there will be a negative uh, question, it will underline it, though I did not, but in exam you will see it. So which is not able to achieve from the DNSSEC? One is a payload encryption. We have seen encryption is not possible. So this is directly we got the answer, but we'll see the other options. Origin authenticity, definitely we'll see from where it is coming. So who is the source? Source cannot deny it. Data integrity, we have seen data which is receiving from the source is correct, and the authenticated denial of the existence in case there is a server which is not existing, website which is fake, it can be denied because of this DNS SSEC. So answer is payload encryption is not possible to achieve from this DNSSEC because there is no possibility of encryption. Encryption, we have seen difference between encryption and digital signature. That's why before covering this topic. What is role of Jones signing keys? We have just seen there is a Jones signing keys, and that is being used by Jones to sign. What it do actually? Do it encrypt? No, we have seen there is no encrypt at all. Do it authenticate? There is no authentication authorization. It is signature signing. So Jones keys are used to sign. Very pretty straightforward. But if you don't know the concept, you will get confused. One question is an exam question, not exactly the same language used, but almost, sorry, almost similar concept is being explained in this question. This type of question is coming in the exam. So many tools and technologies are available for securing or monitoring data in transit. So there is a concept data in rest and data in transit that we have covered in the lecture 1. If you are not aware, do revise those lectures. So in case of data in transit within a data center, whether it is a traditional data center or cloud-based, which of the following is not a technology for securing data in transit? So which technology cannot secure data in the transit case? DNSSEC, TLS, AES, and HTTPS. So we have seen that the DNSSEC use data in transit mechanism because data transition happen from one server to other DNS server like root servers, TLD servers, or the authoritative servers. TLS is the mechanism we have already seen in data in transit. HTTPS is a same as a TLS. AES we have seen and explained in detail. It is for data in race. So they convert they create such type of questions when they use two different technologies and merge in a question and ask whether it is a which one is odd one out. So this type of questions you can expect from exam in this topic. Along with the attacks, that 5 attacks we have discussed, one question you can expect from 5 attacks, and one question that we have just seen out of 5 questions, one type of questions you can see in the exam. So this is for today. Hope you have liked this video. In case you found it useful, please like and subscribe my channel and write me in over ccsp-certified@gmail.com or WhatsApp me on this number +91 837 008 1064 for feedback or any other query. Thank you so much.